Hello, Becky, and welcome to your shadow work reading. First and foremost, thank you for your patience. Today, what we are going to get into is your shadow. If you don't know what your shadow is, excuse me, my throat. Your shadow is a representation of all of the parts of yourself that you've suppressed in order for your identity, yourself, your mask to be more appealing to other people. And this could be as simple as you no longer dance or sing because you ran out of time, or something more difficult like your parents did not really appreciate your self-expression, so you learned to cut off your talking, or you got bullied in school, so now you have low self-esteem, so therefore you don't aim as high as you should for fear. Life is sort of like that, but all those things are a result of parts of yourself that you have put into the background to become more acceptable. So what this is going to do today is we are going to pull out 3 personified characteristics of your shadow. What happens is these things are unconscious in the back of your mind, but once you bring them to the forefront and start thinking through them, you are able to find the pattern and then decide what you want to do with it, because this is not about judging. I want you to just observe the information and think about how it played out in your life. Is this a habit you want to keep? Is this a part of yourself that's important? How can this part evolve? Where did it come from in the first place? That is shadow work, essentially. Excuse me for looking light bright, like this camera keeps adjusting to my color, so the mic is great. So I am about to pull for the 3 personified characteristics of your shadow. And I was pulling your name up so I can focus on that while I pull. So I am going to reach all the way up, source stuff, and just pull out of the records for the information they would like you to know, or that you need in order to come into alignment in your path. Dear universe, what is the first part of Becky's shadow? What is the first part of Becky's shadow? The second part of Becky's shadow. What is the third part of Becky's shadow? Ooh. So from this, I can already tell that you are somebody who is really into learning and diving and figuring things out. And you're from Salem, that's wild. So yeah, this has a lot of spiritual and religious tones in every one of these shadows. So let's start here. The first one is God. And that's interesting because it's maybe your power. It could be misused with this being a shadow trait, because in the light attribute, and keep in mind you have both, you recognize that you have a gift and you use it to help people, and then you also recognize your gift and other people's gifts. With the shadow side, it's more you can't sit with us sort of energy, like something about your spiritual ego, maybe using your power in a way that is not exactly in alignment with the values you had at one point. Maybe when you get triggered sometimes, your gifts are used in another way. Have you ever noticed possibly when you get mad at somebody, something happens to them, or like it storms outside or something? These are things you would think about, the use of your power, because it really does get to a point where you have to learn how to control your mind or be careful with your anger, or there are like results as far as for other people and stuff. It is what it is. You sound powerful. Okay, so the next trait is the Samaritan. Now, the thing with this is you want to help people. Are you Are you spiritual for a living by any chance? Do you help people in your job? Because that's what this feels like. But at the same time, there's a part of you that is resentful for the help that you give out. I guess that connects back to the other one. Are you feeling like sometimes you're not receiving what you give out, or people are not appreciative of you? That's a pattern for you. Is there something about you that gave a lot in childhood? Were you always helping people? Did you have to help your parents? That could be a possibility as well with this. But it really is about you helping people and then resenting the helping of people for some reason. When they don't recognize, and maybe some of these people aren't in a position to recognize, they can't appreciate you. So that could be hurtful. You have to decide, I guess, who you have around you also, because it appears that a lot of your stuff is about boundaries, boundaries within yourself and others. And this last one is the seeker. I'm familiar with this one. The seeker is all about somebody who wants to learn things. It's an amazing thing. Always finding the joy, the beauty in things, everything is interesting. But it gets to a point where you are lost in the searching, so to speak. Like you're always searching and there's never anything grounded. Maybe you get lost in the rabbit hole sometimes. But this is definitely not seeing your path through to the end, beginning things and not finishing, constantly looking for the next high, the next thing you enjoy. Definitely feeling an emptiness based upon the fact that you give so much of your power away to other people. That's heavy here. So maybe it's time that you get to enjoy you for a little bit. Maybe seeing yourself in other people's reflections is not the way you need to see you. Maybe you need to take time to enjoy yourself and decide what you want for you. Because sometimes with you having this sort of setup here, you're helping other people so much you don't ever take the time to use your stuff for you and then like find what you believe in. It makes you like even stronger. Like you can't pour from an empty cup. So thank you, Becki. Have a good day.